Ferrari heads to the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit, located deep in the forests of the Belgian Ardennes, with both of its SF25 Formula One cars now fully equipped with the long-awaited and extensively discussed new rear suspension system. For the historic Italian racing team, this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix will represent the first true opportunity to field and evaluate the complete technical update package in actual Grand Prix conditions. This latest specification not only includes the revised and more efficient floor, which made its competitive debut at the Austrian Grand Prix earlier in the 2025 Formula One season, but also features the newly developed rear suspension system that has generated much attention and anticipation in recent weeks. Despite the limitations imposed by the sprint weekend format, which allows teams only a single one-hour free practice session before entering into parc fermé conditions, the Ferrari engineers and technicians have made the strategic decision to proceed with confidence and optimism, believing in the potential of their aerodynamic upgrade package. The technical department at Maranello has meticulously prepared for the challenges of the Belgian Grand Prix, aiming to assess the true on-track performance of the latest specification SF25. At the same time, the engineering staff led by Performance Director Loïc Serra will progressively redirect their full attention and resources to the development of the 2026 Formula One car, which is internally referred to by the project number 678. The new rear suspension has undergone extensive testing on Ferrari's dynamic test benches, delivering an estimated performance gain of approximately 1/10 of a second per lap when paired with the revised floor. However, during the recent filming day held at the Mugello circuit in Tuscany on July 17th, both Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton completed 100 kilometers of running each, as permitted by the regulations governing such promotional events. The two Ferrari drivers used demo tires on the undulating layout of the Italian track. While neither the Monegasque nor the Briton reported significant changes in the car's behavior during their limited running, this was not entirely unexpected given the conditions of the test. Because of the strict rules governing filming days, both Ferrari SF25 cars were set up with fixed configurations, meaning no suspension or aerodynamic adjustments were allowed. As a result, neither Charles Leclerc nor Lewis Hamilton had a car that was specifically adapted to their individual driving styles or preferences during the test session. Some observers, misinterpreting the situation, erroneously assumed that the lack of driver feedback signaled a failure of the new upgrade package. However, that was not the case. The primary objective of the filming day was to gather comparative telemetry data under controlled conditions in order to evaluate the differences between the upgraded version of the SF25 and the standard specification car. Ferrari engineers were particularly interested in analyzing whether the main issue the new rear suspension was designed to address, instability during braking, had been successfully mitigated. Previous dynamic bench testing conducted at the team's Maranello headquarters had already indicated a performance gain of approximately 1/10 of a second per lap when the new rear suspension was combined with the updated floor. More crucially, the telemetry gathered from Mugello appeared to confirm improvements in the most critical area for the current SF25, the braking phase. Historically, the 2025 spec Ferrari SF25 has suffered from a tendency to lift its rear axle too abruptly under braking, causing sudden and unpredictable losses in aerodynamic load. These losses have made it difficult for drivers to achieve clean corner entries and to consistently bring the tires into their optimal operating window. The revised suspension appears to reduce this rear-end instability, allowing for a smoother and more controlled deceleration. This improvement in braking behavior was also being sought in high-speed cornering situations, such as the fast, sweeping right-handers known as l'Arrabbiate at Mugello, where the limitations of the SF25 were most apparent. Although neither Charles Leclerc nor Lewis Hamilton felt a dramatic difference from behind the wheel during the filming day, the data gathered from onboard sensors told a more encouraging story. The numbers revealed positive trends that provided engineers at Maranello with a foundation for further development using the team's advanced simulation tools. Ferrari believes it has now unlocked previously untapped potential in the SF25, potential that until now could only be accessed under very specific and limited conditions. Although the sprint weekend format at Spa-Francorchamps complicates the integration of major changes due to its condensed structure, There is quiet optimism within the team that this new configuration will begin to deliver visible improvements in performance. Once Saturday's sprint race concludes, parc fermé regulations will be temporarily lifted, offering the technical crew and drivers a valuable opportunity to recalibrate the car's setup. This moment will allow Ferrari to apply lessons learned from Friday's qualifying session and the 100-kilometer sprint race, optimizing the car for Sunday's main Grand Prix. This post-sprint setup window could prove to be a pivotal moment in helping Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton determine the correct direction for fine-tuning the SF25. With careful adjustments, the drivers could begin to extract the additional lap time that the new suspension system and floor are theoretically capable of delivering. The team's expectation is that, thanks to a less aggressive baseline setup, both Ferrari drivers will feel more confident during qualifying runs. In previous rounds, the extreme configurations required to extract maximum speed had pushed Charles Leclerc in particular to the limit, leading to mistakes when chasing lap times that offered no margin for error. In race conditions as well, especially when the cars are running with a full load of fuel, the updated suspension is expected to reduce erratic behavior caused by shifting aerodynamic loads. This should allow for a more stable, predictable, and linear driving experience, minimizing the need for constant steering corrections or sudden throttle adjustments. Although the revised SF25 may not immediately deliver a dramatic leap forward in raw performance or lap time, there is growing belief within the Ferrari camp that both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc will gain a greater sense of confidence in the car. This could enable them to push the limits more comfortably, potentially running with reduced ride heights, and thereby recovering some of the aerodynamic downforce that the car has lacked throughout the 2025 Formula One season. Ultimately, the introduction of the new rear suspension at the Belgian Grand Prix is a crucial step in Ferrari's ongoing effort to close the gap to the consistently strong McLaren team, led by Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. With the 2025 Formula One season entering its decisive second half, every tenth of a second gained and every development milestone reached could prove decisive in the Scuderia's quest to return to the top step of the podium. As always, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps will serve as a key moment of evaluation for teams and drivers alike. For the Ferrari engineers and technicians, the upcoming weekend represents another important opportunity to refine the team's development path and strengthen its competitiveness in the second half of the 2025 F1 Championship. With continuous updates and detailed analysis, the Maranello-based squad remains focused on making consistent progress. Every session, from practice to the race, will provide valuable insights into the effectiveness of the upgrades and the overall direction of the SF25's evolution.